Despite knowing one more crash can like literally end him, he shows up anyway in Dubai because that's just who he is. Hey, all you East High Wildcats. Welcome back to Pretty Girl Movies, a channel where I'm your personal movie soundboard, your brutally honest film bestie, and the girl that's going to tell you if that movie was good or not. So, today, we're talking about the highly marketed Brad Pitt comeback film, F1. Sorry. And let me just say, I do have thoughts. I have rants, I have raves, and I have like one screw that I really want to talk about. So, buckle up. Alright? Spoiler warning also. This is not a spoiler for your review. If you don't want your egg spoiled, then get out of my kitchen and find you something safe to do. Because I'm not going to avoid the plot. I'm talking directly about the plot. So, yeah. Anyways, now that that's out the way, no more false starts. Let's just jump right into this, okay? So F1 is basically a feel good, everyone deserves a second chance, it's never too late to reach your dreams type of film. It stars Brad Pitt, of course, as Sonny Hayes, an ex-Formula 1 driver who left the sport like 30 or so years ago after a very traumatizing accident that almost killed him. Like, he was almost out of there. And here's the thing that nobody knows until like the end of the film, basically. Sonny wasn't even supposed to be racing F1 again. Like, his crash from 30 years ago left him with like lingering spine injuries and like neurological issues. So every doctor told him like another crash can end his life instantly or like leave him paralyzed. So after that happened 30 years ago, what does Sonny do? He lives out of his van, he races smaller circuits, he gambles, he just kind of drifts through life as a nomad with nothing to lose, really, because really he does it. You know, it was giving a lot of Tragic King energy. And then, right before he goes back into F1, he was helping Porsche at Daytona as a backup driver because apparently he is just the motorsport handyman of the century. You know, he just helps everybody. I don't know. And then his old friend Ruben, played by Javier Bardem, approaches him. Ruben owes Apex, a failing F1 team that's like $315 million in a hole. The board is about to strip him of his ownership, and he's really desperate. So Ruben recruits Sonny to drive for him. Yeah. Let's just hire a nomad, a reclusive nomad with a death wish. It's good risk management. Whatever, who cares? So, Ruben pairs Sonny with the rookie driver Joshua Pierce, played by Damson Idris, to revive Apex because nobody likes Apex. And at first, of course, Sonny and Josh hate each other. Sonny is reckless. Josh is like cocky, obsessed with fame, like doing club appearances instead of like doing the track walks with the team. And their first race together, they both crash out, battling for last place. Like, it's embarrassing as a team. It's extremely humbling. You're already at the bottom. How much lower can you go? And these cars that they have, they're trash. Like, there's something wrong with these cars. You can tell they're like unbalanced, underpowered. They're like unstable. And the whole engineering team is like giving F1 my team with like zero upgrades. You know, just vibes, burnout, and vibes. Like, I don't know. But slowly, of course, a brotherhood forms between them. Sonny purposely drives reckless to test the car's limits and gives like the engineers real feedback on the cars. He helps Josh get ahead of the next race. You know, he's not just there to drive, he's here to build the team. And he's doing something that he shouldn't be doing. Whatever, like, he knows he could die, but whatever, he keeps showing up anyways, for Ruben, for him, for the team. All this. And here's my confession in all this. This movie actually made me interested in F1. Like, yes, I knew who Lewis Hamilton was. Everybody knows who Lewis Hamilton was. And I know about the Max Verstappen memes. I'm going to say that wrong. But, you know, F1 showed the real stakes. You know, the teamwork, the strategy, the engineering, the danger, the heartbreak, the adrenaline. And after watching this, I wanted to understand the tire components, the pit stop timing, like, and why Ferrari keeps like fumbling every year despite having a budget bigger than my future life savings. Like, I want to know all these things now because of this movie. But anyways, that aside, tragedy strikes. Josh has a massive crash. He's like full airborne, car engulfed in flames. Everybody is quiet in the movie theater. And Sonny risks his life to pull Josh out, of course. But Josh's mom blames Sonny because, of course, that makes sense. She's a mother, of course. And it was really valid, but at the same time, Sonny was the only one that was acting like an adult in that relationship, but whatever, who cares? So everyone else blames him too for Josh's accident, because motorsport is $1 million blame game. It's always somebody's fault, except for their own. Whatever. Josh is out for 3 races recovering. Meanwhile, Sonny just dominates while he's gone. He works with the engineers, he bonds with the crews, he upgrades the cars, and Josh watches from home, like feeling replaced, humiliated, just angry, but also a little bit inspired. Like, damn, maybe I should like work a little harder and focus on my driving and not the rest of the world. So when Josh returns from his recovery, the tension is high between them. He spins Sonny out in a race out of spite. I know, real mature, that's what I'm talking about. It's classic Ricky shit. But anyways, then Kate, the engineer director, I believe, forces him to hash it out over a poking game, because apparently in F1, I don't know, the resolution to all this fighting was a Texas Hold'em game. Who knows? Afterwards, Sonny sat back. He lets Josh be the number 1 driver for Vegas. It was a very like I'll let you have it moment. Except, what does Josh do the night before the race? He's out partying. Like, sir, you have an important job to do tomorrow. Get some sleep. But anyways, right before the race, sabotage hits. Ruben's shady sponsor forged documents to get Apex's new car upgrade span to sabotage him and steal Ruben's team. Of course, typical villain behavior. It always has to be a villain. Whatever. So during the Vegas race, Sonny is unhinged. He's driving angry. He's reckless. He's really haunted by his crash from 30 years ago, and then he crashes again. And this is when Ruben finds out that, oh, he's not even supposed to be racing anymore. So Ruben fires him. Josh goes to visit Sonny, but sees him getting fired, and then he just kind of leaves from there. And I think that moment really inspired Josh, but whatever. That moment was really sad. Like, dang, because Sonny was like begging for like him not to fire him, but Ruben was firm on it. Whatever. So after Ruben fires Sonny, Ruben's sponsor approaches Sonny to recruit him to his rival team after orchestrating this whole downfall of Apex. But yeah, Josh finally gets it. He stops chasing fame. He really starts racing for real, for the team, for himself, for the actual sport, and not for the people. And Sonny, despite the risk, despite knowing one more crash can like literally end him, he shows up anyway in Dubai, because that's just who he is. It's his identity. He's a giver. Like, I don't know. The final race is intense. It's Sonny and Josh versus Lewis Hamilton, who has like such good cameos, and like you can just see the GOAT in him in every frame. I love it. So Josh gets spun out by Lewis. Josh is done, out of the race. It's all on Sonny now, and despite his injuries, the trauma that he's going through, obviously, in his aging body, he wins. Apex wins. Ruben saves his team, and Josh finds his purpose again, finally. But then Sonny disappears, says goodbye to Kate and Josh, gets back into his van, and drives off into the sunset like the nomad that he is, on to his next race, or like his back alley poker tournament thing. Yes, pretty good, right? So like visually F1 was stunning. Okay, the racing shots felt immersive without like dizzying me. The director used like real cockpit cameras and like F1 rigs to place you inside the car, which was really nice. Like the sense of speed, the vibrations, the adrenaline was so unreal, and that's why I feel so immersive compared to like old racing films where you don't exactly get that. Like you can see the budget in this movie. Yeah. And then the score was phenomenal. Okay, it gave weight to like certain scenes, it gave tension to races, and it was good emotion. It gave you emotion. Like, they really knew how to make the intro war sound like an opera, and it was really good. I really liked it. Yes. And to me, honestly, this film isn't just about racing. It's about aging in sports, relevance, legacy, and identity. Sonny lost everything to F1. You know, his health, his relationships, his career, almost his life. Yeah, he keeps coming back to the sport. So, it begs that question. If you've lost everything you love to your dream, would you risk your life to come back to it again? And the answer is probably yes. Yes, you would. So, for Sonny, racing wasn't just a job. It's who he is, and that's what makes his story so compelling in this, honestly. And it's so tragic how his story was, actually. But, like, it sounded so good in the movie, and it's relatable for anyone who's ever been like tied their worth to their passion. We've all been there, but the story of Sonny was really good. Okay, now past that, let's get to my honest thoughts. Brad Pitt 8. Damson Idris nailed the fame-hungry rookie with like some hidden depth there. Javier Bardem was like perfect stress dad energy, was really good. The racing accuracy was flawless. Like you could tell Lewis Hamilton kept him honest. No fake rules, no fake engineering, no cringy errors like so many racing movies that you'll see nowadays. But, and I have to say this, my biggest complaint overall, Simone Ashley. Okay, they erased her completely. If you blinked, then you missed her. Like, she had no opening credits. She had no real scenes. She was just, like, popped in like a cameo. It was weird. Like, why cast someone with her star power only to reduce her to a blurry cameo? It was disrespectful. It really lost points for me for that, because that's corny. I didn't like that. Sonny's driving style was really chaotic. Like, he really raced like he had, like, great life insurance. Like, I don't know, I didn't get it. Like, purposely wrecking in every lap. Like, sir, that's $1 billion car you're driving, relax. And then Josh's arc was satisfying, but it was also really frustrating because he partied more than he trained at first, and then he blamed others instead of himself, and then yeah, it was just like, stop being a jackass. But his redemption arc really felt earned in the end. It felt satisfying. I liked it. And Ruben, he stretched so much in that whole time. Like, he deserves a drink and he needs a therapist fucking immediately. Oh my god. So overall, this movie was like chaotic. It was inspiring. It was dramatic, and it was fun. It was a little bit of a fever dream for me. Again, a little bit of like a motorsport docudrama, and a little bit of like a Brad Pitt eye candy for the aunties, if you like that sort of thing. I don't. So, would I recommend it? Yes. Even if you're not an F1 fan, it's worth watching for the vibes, the emotional arcs, the racing shots that make your heart pound like you're actually in like the driver's seat with them. I would definitely recommend. Yes. So if you made it to the end, you're realer than me, because I would have left mine out. So drop your thoughts below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Or were you just here for Lewis, like me? And tell me, would you let Brad Pitt drive your F1 car? Is that like an automatic pit lane penalty? I don't know. Tell me. So yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you next time on Pretty Girl Movies, where I do talk my shit. I have like so many opinions, and I am going to daydream about joining the F1 pit. That sounds fun. Yeah. Anyways, bye.